The Golden State Warriors just pulled off a stunning play-in comeback, and Jimmy Butler is making his championship goal loud and clear. After watching his team erase a 13-point deficit against the Los Angeles Clippers, Butler wasted no time putting the league on notice about his hunger for a ring. We are breaking down what his presence on the sidelines means for this team as they fight to keep their season alive.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-Pack Screen Protector plus 3-Pack Camera Lens Protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
But while the team fights on the court, the future of the bench boss is looking increasingly shaky. Warriors broadcaster Monty Poole is sounding the alarm, suggesting there is now an 85% chance that Steve Kerr has coached his final game for the franchise. We dive into the growing tension behind the scenes and why the odds of a major coaching departure are skyrocketing. In a look back at the history of the draft, we are digging into the archives to see how talent has flowed into Golden State from smaller programs. We examine every player ever selected by the Warriors out of Cal State Long Beach to see if any hidden gems shape the team's legacy. It is a trip through the draft history books that you do not want to miss. Finally, the organization is facing a reality check as the shadow of former GM Bob Myers continues to complicate the team's need for a true reset. With Mike Dunleavy Jr. struggling to break old patterns, we analyze if the franchise can actually pivot before it is too late. If you want the latest updates on these massive front office and coaching shifts, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications. Ever wonder what it takes to keep a team's championship dream alive when the odds are stacked against them? Wednesday night at the Intuit Dome, the Golden State Warriors gave us a masterclass in heart. Down by 13 in the fourth, they didn't just crawl back. They stormed past the Clippers 126-121. We saw vintage Stephen Curry with 35 points, Big Al Horford catching fire from deep, and Kristaps Porzingis finally looking like the lethal piece this roster needed. But while the court was on fire, all eyes were on the sideline, where an injured Jimmy Butler was riding every single possession like his life depended on it. Butler, out for the season with a knee injury, has made his goals crystal clear. He's not here for participation trophies. He told GQ Korea, "A championship. I want to be remembered as a player who never backed down." And watching his teammates claw their way to that win, it's obvious that grit is becoming contagious in that locker room. Post-game, Butler was in high spirits, praising the heavy hitters like Draymond Green, who was an absolute nightmare for Kawhi Leonard, and giving a shout-out to Gui Santos. But in classic Jimmy fashion, he couldn't resist a little jab at Will Richard, laughing that while Richard didn't record a single stat, he at least cheered his heart out from the bench. It's that kind of atmosphere, a mix of high-stakes pressure and genuine, locker-room humor, that keeps a season alive. This win wasn't just a play-in victory. It was a statement that despite a turbulent 37-45 campaign, the Warriors refused to go quietly into the night. Now, they're staring down a must-win clash with the Suns this Friday for a spot in the playoffs and a potential showdown with the defending champs. Can they keep this momentum rolling? Hit that subscribe button to keep up with every twist and turn of this postseason run. After all, in a league obsessed with individual stats, it's the ones who refuse to back down that truly define the game. Is the Golden State Warriors dynasty officially running on fumes? Just a few weeks ago, Steve Kerr told the world his return was a total toss-up, a 50-50 split. But now, that window is slamming shut. According to Warriors insider Monty Poole, we are looking at an 80 to 85% chance that Kerr walks away from the bench entirely. Poole put it bluntly on the Dubs Talk podcast. Kerr is already eyeing the exit, and while a change of heart is technically possible, it feels increasingly like a long shot. Think about the atmosphere in that building. We saw assistant coaches like Chris DeMarco jump ship during the season, and there's a persistent sense that the entire coaching staff has been bracing for impact. It is clear that running it back with this current roster isn't just an uphill battle, it is a non-starter. This team is desperate for the size, youth, and athleticism that the rest of the league has moved on to. And if the front office decides it is time to blow up the roster, why wouldn't they want a fresh voice at the helm too? Beyond the roster drama, just listen to the man himself. Kerr has been vocal about wanting a shorter NBA season, And let's be honest, a coach campaigning for fewer games isn't exactly a guy itching to spend another 82 nights on the sidelines. He has been openly frustrated with the limits of his personnel, a subtle but sharp message sent directly to management. When you can't attract the veteran help you need because the cap is locked down, you are essentially asking a championship coach to win with one hand tied behind his back. The writing seems to be on the wall, and the outlook in the Bay is looking grim. If you're holding out hope for a return, you might want to prepare for the inevitable. Is this the end of an era, or just the necessary destruction before a rebuild? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest on the Warriors' future. One thing is certain. If the spark is gone, it is time for everyone to start looking toward the door. Have you ever wondered about the hidden gems in NBA draft history? We all know the Golden State Warriors built a dynasty through the draft. Think Steph, Clay, and Draymond. But the path to the league isn't always paved with blue-chip prospects from major programs. Sometimes, it's about those deep-cut picks from schools you might not expect. Today, we're spotlighting the connection between the Warriors and Cal State Long Beach. While the Dubs have hit home runs in the draft, not every name on the list becomes a household staple. For instance, look back to the 1973 draft. In the fifth round, the Warriors took a flyer on a prospect coming off 2 solid seasons at Long Beach State with the 80th overall pick. It was a bold move, but unfortunately, he didn't end up making the final roster. Fast forward a decade to 1983, and the Warriors took another shot at a Long Beach talent in the 10th round, pick number 212. It's a testament to how exhaustive, and frankly, grueling the scouting process really is, even for the legendary franchises. These players represent the hustle and the dreams that fuel every NBA hopeful, even if their time in Golden State didn't manifest into a long-standing career. If you enjoyed this dive into the archives of Warriors draft history, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite team's past. After all, every great dynasty is built on a foundation of thousands of small, forgotten stories. Who do you want us to cover next? Is the Golden State Warriors dynasty officially out of gas, or are they just stuck in a loop of their own making? Since that 2022 champagne-soaked title run, the Warriors have been locked in a recurring nightmare of play-in tournament exits. Finishing 10th, 7th, and 10th again, the team is finally signaling that it's time for a major reset. But here is the cold, hard truth. This cleanup job should have started 3 years ago, right in the front office. When architect Bob Myers walked away in 2023, he didn't just leave a vacancy. He handed the keys to his hand-picked successor, Mike Dunleavy Jr. It was billed as a move for continuity, but in hindsight, it looks more like a recipe for the mediocrity we're seeing today. Let's be real. The final chapters of the Myers era were already fraying at the edges. Between the James Weissman debacle and an unhealthy obsession with vibes over pure talent, the organization was already losing its way. By hiring from within, Dunleavy wasn't tasked with innovating. He was tasked with maintaining a system that had already begun to stagnate. We've seen the same tired patterns: chasing aging veterans, mismanaged assets, and a reluctance to make the bold, uncomfortable trades that contenders actually need to make. The most frustrating part. The team reportedly quietly extended Dunleavy months ago, effectively doubling down on the very status quo that's keeping them in the play-in dungeon. If the Warriors want to save what remains of the Steph Curry window, they can't just talk about new coaching philosophies or tweaks. They need a total structural alignment between ownership, the front office, and the bench. Dunleavy has a chance to break the cycle by shedding the Myers-era mindset and getting aggressive. But if he keeps following the same old playbook, we already know how this story ends. Do you think the Warriors need to blow it up entirely to find their way back to the top, or is a pivot still enough to save the dynasty? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed for more deep dives on the league's biggest stories. Sometimes, to build the future, you have to be willing to burn the manual of the past.